Good night and welcome to Benalmádena's first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. The mayor of Benalmádena, Victor Navas, valued last week the tourist occupancy data for our municipality in August. Benalmádena closed the month with an occupancy over 88%, and for November the reservations are already close to 65%.
The Association of Hotel Businessmen of the Costa del Sol is satisfied with the high hotel occupancy in the province during the month of August, which closed with almost 89%. By destinations during the month of August, several municipalities exceed 90% occupancy, as Torremolinos with 93.76%, Benalmádena with 93.71%, or Fuengirola with 91.75%. The mayor of Benalmádena, Victor Navas, reviewed positively the occupancy rate. According to the data provided by AECOS, Benalmádena is again one of the main tourist destinations that attracts visitors during the summer months. We have had a hotel occupancy rate of 93.71% during the summer months, being only surpassed by Torremolinos in the province of Málaga. Benalmádena is a real locomotive of employment and wealth generation, and this data support it. Navas also spoke about the good employment data. Precisely this summer, we have had the highest number of Social Security affiliates, exceeding the figure of 24,000, an unprecedented figure in Benalmádena. In addition, the forecast for the month of November are also the best we have had in recent years. The number of reservations has already reached 65%, and we are again the second city in the province in terms of forecast for the coming winter. To conclude, he highlighted the attractiveness of the municipality, emphasizing the joint work between the hotel industry and the public administration, as well as the secret ingredient that our citizens bring to the mix. If in summer the period par excellence of sun and beach tourism, Benalmádena remains the second municipality in terms of occupancy. In winter, a period of deseasonalization in which traditionally only cities like Málaga have a greater momentum, our city managed to maintain a significant percentage of reservations. All this data show that Benalmádena remains a municipality that everyone wants to visit to enjoy their leisure time, by strength such as having the highest concentration of 4-star hotels throughout the Costa del Sol, or have a fully renovated hotel plant, and thanks to the joint efforts of entrepreneurs and local government, and the smile and hospitality with which our neighbors receive visitors. The association faces autumn with concern due to the energy crisis, although the expected occupancy data are good. For September, an occupancy rate of 81.44% is expected in the province, for October 70.23%, and for November 57%. As for the origin of the tourists, in August, fewer international tourists than expected arrived in Málaga, 50% of them national and 50% international. In September, the percentage varies. 60% is expected to be international, and this figure rises to 65% in October.
The emblematic amusement park Tivoli World remains closed, and last week City Hall organized a meeting with the workers to inform them about the lines of action put in place to fight for the reopening of the space.
The mayor of Benalmádena, Victor Navas, and Urbanism Councilwoman Marisabel Ruiz held a meeting last week with the workers of the Tivoli World Amusement Park to address the lines of action to fight for the reopening of the park and the reinstatement of the employees. Among other issues, the meeting addressed the status of the administrative procedure for the protection of the park's land. Navas spoke with us last Friday to highlight their work protecting the lands. We continue to work with Junta de Andalucía in the completion of the procedure in our best interest to grant the greatest possible urban protection to the land of Tivoli. We are collaborating with the workers to organize a new schedule of demonstrations to continue demanding the reopening of the park, in addition to promoting a new negotiation with Tremont Group, current owners of Tivoli. We have also proposed to try from the powers that have our social services to provide social coverage to those workers with more economic difficulties. He also made an appeal to the Tremont Group and asked Junta de Andalucía for support on this issue. I make an appeal again to the Tremont Group to show sensitivity to the situation of workers and reopen a new avenue of negotiation. I also ask Junta de Andalucía to promote the creation of a working table to several bands with representation of public institutions, workers and company to try to unblock the situation of the park and thus achieve its reopening and the maintenance of jobs. On behalf of the workers, the General Secretary of the Services Union from Comisiones Obreras Málaga, Lola Villalba, pointed out that they are still awaiting the order of the judge for the termination of contracts. The president of Tivoli World Workers Committee, Juan Ramón Delgado, praised the effort of the workers who arrive daily to carry out cleaning and maintenance tasks in the park.
City Hall finished the remodeling works on Maestro Trujillo Street, where they have created sidewalks, also installing proper lighting for the area, after a request from the neighbors.
The mayor of Benalmádena, Víctor Navas, Roads and Works Councilman Joaquín Villazón, and Urban Planning Councilwoman Marisabel Ruiz visited on Tuesday Maestro Trujillo Street to check the final result of the remodeling works that have just concluded. This is an important action asked by the neighborhood because the road barely had night lighting and sidewalks in good conditions to ensure the safety of pedestrians who used the street. With this action, we also respond to a report of the Commerce Department of the regional government, which argued that to authorize the expansion of the amusement park Tivoli was necessary to make improvements in accessibility for both pedestrians and drivers, an objective that we met, enabling a new sidewalk that leads directly to the door of the park. The mayor explained that these works are part of the transformation process that the whole town is experiencing. With this execution, we give continuity to the transformation that we are developing in Benalmádena, a work that we carry for the enhancements of Tivoli's environment to respond to a neighborhood claim and to provide better communications between the various sectors of the city. I want to highlight the serious difficulties that we are encountering to bring forward many of the works we've planned as a result of rising prices in supplies and materials, as is happening with many other municipalities, and therefore has much more merit to conclude works on time. 28 new trees have been planted in the streets, a figure that increased the arboreal heritage of Benalmádena, one of the cities with more green area of the entire province. Villazón, who also directs the environment area, spoke about the tree planting politic in the municipality. It is an important work because it improves pedestrian communication between the upper and lower part of Arroyo de la Miel. In addition to this, we have also demonstrated again that for every tree felled, we plant two. After the felling done in Idaira Park, necessary for the repair of the soil carried out to improve the safety of children in this street, we have proceeded to the planting of 28 orange trees. At the Cosmos Avenue, the same philosophy will be followed and twice as many trees felled will be planted to improve the environmental conditions of the city.
Culture Councilman Pablo Centella valued positively the Culture in the Street cycle that came to an end last week with the performance of Thirjab at Plaza de la Mezquita.
Culture in the Street came to an end last week with the performance of the local group Thirjab that put the final notes to this summer cycle organized by the Culture Delegation with the aim of providing a quality event program while promoting local artists. Culture Councilman Pablo Centella held a press conference on Wednesday to value the cycle with a very positive review, stressing that the program meets the goals that were set at its inception, serving to strengthen the tourism offer with a solid cultural program. We are especially satisfied with the results we have obtained from one of the most important and complex programs that we developed from the Culture Delegation. We've recovered the levels of public before the pandemic, and the numbers speak for themselves. More than 8,000 attendees and the participation of more than 100 artists, being many of them from Benalmádena or from our environment, demonstrating the high quality of local artists. With this data, the qualification cannot be other than excellent. We have surpassed the objectives, and we have returned to give our tourist attractions a cultural seal that differentiates and strengthens it compared to other destinations in the framework of the Costa del Sol. He also thanked all those who have collaborated in the organization, both at the Delegation of Culture as in other delegations or security forces. I want to thank the effort of all the workers who make possible the correct and normal development of all the events, despite the administrative difficulties we have had to face this year and the high temperatures that we have had to endure. Centella emphasized the return of the Flamenco Festival as well as the great acceptance of the events for young people such as the Rock and Urban Nights. I want to emphasize that in this edition we've recovered our Flamenco Festival with a cast of artists that has placed it as one of the most attractive among those held in Andalusia, and that we've settled a musical offer aimed specifically at the youngest of our city. I want to reiterate our commitment to continue the path we took 7 years ago, turning Benalmádena into the cultural capital of the Costa del Sol.
The Cudeca Foundation received this Tuesday the visit of UK's ambassador to Spain, Hugh Elliott, who was accompanied by Councilwoman Irene Díaz and a large representation of the Palliative Care Centre.
The ambassador of the United Kingdom in Spain, Hugh Elliott, visited Cudeca's Palliative Care Centre in Benalmádena on Monday to learn firsthand about their care work as well as the history of the first hospice in Spain created by a British woman, its late founder, Joan Hunt. The ambassador toured the facilities of the Cudeca Center and met the staff of the different areas who each year care for more than 1,700 people with cancer and other advanced disease. I'm very impressed seeing firsthand and learning more about the work of this foundation that Joan Hunt established several decades ago, with the aim of promoting a new model of palliative care in Spain. To see the involvement of the staff and all the volunteers, as well as the authorities, is refreshing. The first time I came to Benalmádena was in the 80s and in another profession. To come back now and see that Benalmádena is the headquarters in Spain for a form of care that did not exist before, as well as the involvement of a large part of the community, is very impressive. The ambassador highlighted the number of people the foundation supports and the role they play in our society. The amount of people that Cudeca supports, the collaborations they have with the health services, the extension of the care they offer in the province of Malaga, it is something that has grown a lot and has the network of stores and events to support this work. I think it is a model that demonstrates the solidarity of the community here on the Costa del Sol. Accompanying him were his wife, María Antonia Martín, Chairman Arbuin, British Consul in Malaga, Councilwoman Irene Díaz, representing the City Council, and on behalf of Cudeca, Susan Hannam, Vice President, Liz Parry, Trustee, Dr. Marisa Martín, Manager and Medical Director, and Rafael Olaya, Deputy Manager and Financial Director. He also had the opportunity to meet Jill Steele, Roger Guy, and Jim Marshall, British volunteers from different areas, welfare, charity stores, events, etc., as well as Cindy Jones, volunteer and event organizer in Competa. Late in the day, Elliott visited Malaga's City Hall for the presentation of the Order of the British Empire to the Mayor, Francisco de la Torre, award in recognition of his support for the local British community and the city's relations with the United Kingdom.
And these are today's headlines. Navas values the tourist occupancy data. New meeting with the Tivoli Workers' Committee. City Hall finished the works at Maestro Trujillo Street. positive balance of the culture in the street cycle. UK's ambassador to Spain visits Kudeka. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with slightly cloudy or clear skies with fog on the coast. Temperatures unchanged with locally decreasing highs around 29 and lows of 20 degrees. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profile on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend.